Welcome back. All right, so we're going to do a career video today for Frans Nielsen. He is officially retired from hockey. He, of course, played last year in the National Hockey League, didn't play this season, but an interesting career and an example of a guy who gets drafted. Not a lot is thought of it at the time, and it takes him quite a while to establish himself as a National Hockey League player. But once he was established, he became well known for shootouts and his ability to score in shootouts. So he's a number 87 pick in 2002. And it takes until 06-07 for him to make his debut as a National Hockey League player. Plays 15 games for the Islanders, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. So not a lot there, right? And then the following season, 07-08, plays 16 games, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. And again, not a lot really to talk about. The following season, however, he plays 59 games, 9 goals, 24 assists, 33 points. Not awful on faceoffs either. And he does pretty well in the shootout. He scores 3 times out of 5 attempts for a percentage of 60. And you look at some of the great players around the league, they might have a 30-35% conversion rate on shootouts. So his rate of conversion is pretty good. And he is one of the all-time leaders in shootout goals currently. 2009-2010, 76 games, 12 goals, 26 assists, 38 points. But he has 7 goals in shootouts out of 12 attempts. So that's a conversion rate of 58.3%. And if you want to look for players who could have definitely benefited from those goals being counted in your totals, which they're not, he had in his career, I believe it's 23 goals that were deciders in shootouts, which would have brought his goal total up quite a bit. So 2010-2011, 71 games, 13 goals, 31 assists, 44 points. He's a good passer. Not a 20-goal scorer, but in shootouts, he converts 5 out of 8. So again, he's converting more than 50%. That's a conversion rate of 62.5%. And that's how you get a reputation, is having a percentage that's that high. 2011-2012, he plays all 82 games, 17 goals, 30 assists, 47 points. His conversion rate, 7 out of 11 that year. So 63.6% when it comes to shootouts. He's an automatic. It's at this point, it's just you go with him. He should be your last shooter. Number 3 guy, Frans Nielsen. 2012-2013, 48 games, just 6 goals with 23 assists, 29 points. He makes his playoff debut that year. Not a lot of playoffs for Frans Nielsen in his career. 6 games, just the 2 assists. And in the shootouts, a down year for him. He converts 2 out of 7. So 28.6% is his conversion rate that year. 2013-2014, 80 games, 25 goals, the first of 2 20-goal seasons in his career. 33 assists, 58 points. Excellent all-around year for him. And in shootouts, well, he converts 8 out of 15. 15 shootouts. 53.3% in shootouts that year. But a lot of shootouts for the Islanders. So 2014-2015, 78 games. He goes down to 14 goals, so the goal scoring drops off. 29 assists, 43 points. He does play in the playoffs that year, 7 games, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. And in shootouts, he converts 5 out of 11 for 45.5% conversion rate, which is low for him, right? 44, that's low. And yet again, if you look at some of the players around the National Hockey League when it comes to shootouts, and over the summer, I can definitely do videos where we talk about who's great in shootouts and who isn't and why. But yeah, 5 out of 11, most players would take that. 2015-2016, what would be his final year in New York playing for the Islanders? 81 games, 20 goals. That would be his second and final 20-goal season. 32 assists, 52 points. In the playoffs, 11 games, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points. He converts on 4 out of 9 shootout opportunities, which is a 44.4% conversion rate. So, July 1st of 2016, he signs a 6-year, $31.5 million contract with the Detroit Red Wings. A contract which raised a lot of eyebrows, including mine at the time. Detroit looking at Nielsen as being a good, I think it was ideally a number 3 center, maybe a number 2 center, but either way, it's a lot of money. And that contract ends up being talked about pretty quickly with Nielsen in Detroit. And in Detroit, it's never quite what it was in New York playing for the Islanders. He had some, a couple of good years, but it just never felt like it clicked as well in Detroit as it did in New York. 79 games the first year in Detroit, 2016-2017. 17 goals, 24 assists, 41 points. His conversion rate drops. 2 out of 8, 25%. He did play in the All-Star game that year, though. That's the only time he played in the All-Star game in his career. 2017-2018, 79 games, 16 goals, 17 assists, 33 points. His conversion rate in the shootouts goes up again, 4 out of 6. So 66.7% in terms of his conversions with shootouts. 2018-2019, 72 games, 10 goals, 25 assists, 35 points. He only converts 1 out of 7 in shootouts, 14.3%. So he's not an automatic anymore. Just the 1 goal, and that would end up being the last shootout goal he had in his career. So coming out of that year, just the 10 goals, which is the lowest total he had outside of the 6-goal season, which was 48 games, and there was 9 goals during what was his first almost full season in the NHL at 59 games. But the following year, 60 games, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points. 2 times he's used in shootouts, does not score either time. The following year, his final year in the NHL, 29 games, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. He had 1 shootout opportunity, did not score on it. So 0% those last 2 years. He ends up playing 925 games, 167 goals, 306 assists, 473 points. And as I said, August 19th of 2021, that contract was bought out. Steve Yzerman buys out the final year of it. So 473 points is excellent for a player out of Denmark. I don't think I have to say that, but excellent. In the playoffs, 24 games, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points. And in terms of his shootout conversion rate, it ends up at 48 out of 102. So he had been above 40 or above 100% those last 3 years in Detroit, dropping below 50%. 47.1% on his career. In New York, 52.6% on shootouts. In Detroit, 29.2% on shootouts. So definitely a difference, but again, age is going to be part of that too, right? 2021-2022, he played for Berlin in the DEL, the German league. And then he represented Denmark 9 times on the international stage, including 2022, he was an Olympic flag bearer for Denmark, and that is the first Danish Olympic appearance for men's hockey in Denmark's history. So honestly, I would say that him being bought out was great for him because he then gets to go over to the Olympics, carries the flag, and plays for his country in an Olympic tournament. Now, they did end up finishing 7th in that Olympic tournament, but they won their share of games along the way, and they didn't look awful. And that's the thing, right? Denmark, not really considered a powerhouse in hockey, but right now, according to IIHF, they're 10th in countries right now in the IIHF listings. So, I mean, they're right there, right? They should be in the next Olympics. And, I mean, if the World Cup ever becomes really, truly what I think the World Cup for the NHL should be, then bring in a bunch of guys from Denmark. Bring in guys that aren't just National Hockey League players and give this country a shot. That being said, he also won silver at the 2016 NHL World Cup playing for Team Europe. So that was where they cobbled together a bunch of European countries. And they're not planning on doing that again. Bill Daly was asked about that, and he said they're not doing that again. So the most points by a Danish player, 473 points. He will not keep that record because Nick Ehlers has 358 points. You have to think Nick Ehlers has to get at least 500 points in his career. Lars Eller, 348. Mikkel Bodker, 327 for him in his career. Jannik Hansen had 256. And Oliver Bjorkstrand, currently of the Columbus Blue Jackets, 234 points in his career. So it is impressive that right now we're looking at 3 of the top 6 being active players. And, I mean, Denmark's one of those countries that we could look back on 10 years from now and say, hey, you know, that rise of Denmark's been kind of fun to watch. And maybe we'll look back and say Frans Nielsen was a trailblazer in that area. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video, and all happy thoughts to him in his retirement. He's earned it, and he had a pretty solid run, pretty good career. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.